The digital tapestry of 2023, woven with threads of connection and anonymity, serves as the unsettling backdrop for our tale. Within this vast, ever-shifting landscape, three distinct individuals navigate lives tinged with isolation and longing. Cindy, a young artist haunted by self-doubt, finds herself drawn to the alluring promises of the Luminary Collective, a forum promising enlightenment and a sense of belonging. Their language is a balm to her anxieties, their ethereal imagery a siren call to her fractured spirit. Little does she know, this digital sanctuary is built upon a foundation of manipulation. Across the virtual divide, Ben, a programmer grappling with profound grief, seeks solace in the digital realm. He stumbles upon the Ascendants, a community preaching transcendence through digital consciousness. Their promise of reuniting with lost loved ones in the virtual ether is a powerful lure for his broken heart, a desperate attempt to escape the pain of reality. He clings to their teachings, unaware of the dark path he's treading. Maya, a bright but socially awkward college student, yearns for acceptance in a world obsessed with perfection. She discovers the Seraphim Circle, a group promoting self-love and empowerment. Their promises of confidence and belonging are a beacon in her sea of insecurities, a tempting escape from her perceived inadequacies. However, beneath the glossy surface lies a sinister agenda, slowly eroding her individuality. These three souls, each vulnerable in their own way, are drawn into the seductive web of online cults. Their initial interactions are subtle, almost imperceptible, yet they are being carefully groomed for a descent into darkness. The internet, a place of connection, becomes a cage, and the promise of community morphs into a chilling nightmare. The stage is set for a harrowing exploration of isolation, manipulation, and the terrifying potential of the digital world to corrupt and destroy lives. Their paths are about to intertwine, setting off a chain of events with devastating consequences. The year is 2023, a time of hyperconnectivity juxtaposed with profound individual isolation. Our world is a digital labyrinth where social media platforms and online forums have become the new town squares, yet genuine human interaction is increasingly rare. This pervasive sense of detachment fuels the rise of online cults, preying on the vulnerable and the lost. It's within this environment that our characters' stories unfold. Cindy, 22, lives in a cramped city apartment. Her walls adorned with half-finished canvases, a testament to her artistic aspirations stifled by anxiety. Her parents, well-meaning but distant, struggle to understand her struggles, adding to her feelings of isolation. She seeks validation online, finding solace in the seemingly empathetic community of the Luminary Collective, drawn to their promise of unlocking her true potential. Her initial motivation is a desperate yearning for belonging and purpose. Ben, 38, a once brilliant programmer, is now a recluse, his spacious home a stark reminder of the wife he recently lost. The world around him feels muted, his days a blur of coding and online gaming, his nights haunted by memories. He is drawn to the Ascendants by their promise of transcending physical death, a desperate hope to reunite with his beloved in the digital realm. His initial motivation is a deep-seated grief and a longing for escape. Maya, 19, a college student living in a bustling dormitory, feels like an outsider despite being surrounded by people. She is often overlooked and underestimated, her intelligence and creativity hidden beneath a veil of shyness. She is lured into the Seraphim Circle by their message of self-love and empowerment, hoping to finally find acceptance and validation. Her initial motivation is a desperate need for belonging and a desire to be seen and valued. These characters, while geographically separated, are all united by their vulnerability and their search for something more. Their lives, though seemingly ordinary, are marked by a profound sense of isolation, making them prime targets for the manipulative tactics of online cults. Their initial motivations, born out of genuine desires for connection and meaning, are twisted and exploited, leading them down a dark and dangerous path. Their paths are about to converge in the most unexpected and terrifying way. As Cindy delves deeper into the Luminary Collective, she uncovers coded messages hinting at a sinister, awakening ritual. Ben, pressured by the Ascendants, learns their digital afterlife is a data harvesting scheme, not reunion. Maya discovers the Seraphim Circle's self-love is a facade for exploiting members' insecurities, forcing them into extreme conformity. These revelations shatter their initial hopes, revealing the true, horrifying nature of their online communities, ensnaring them in a web of manipulation and deceit. The lines between the digital and real worlds blur, escalating their peril. Cindy's goal is to find genuine belonging and purpose, initially believing the Luminary Collective offers this. Her first obstacle arises when her mentor demands she sever ties with her family, labeling them as negative influences. She struggles with this, torn between her desire for acceptance and her love for her family. A subplot emerges as her childhood friend Liam attempts to reach out, sensing her distress, but is met with resistance. Ben's goal is to reunite with his deceased wife, and he believes the Ascendants hold the key. His first obstacle is the group's demand for complete digital immersion, neglecting his physical health and real-world responsibilities. A subplot develops as his sister Sarah, concerned for his well-being, tries to intervene, uncovering unsettling details about the group's practices. Maya's goal is to find self-acceptance and belonging, initially drawn to the Seraphim Circle's message of empowerment. Her first obstacle is the group's relentless pressure to conform to their unrealistic beauty standards, leading to a crisis of self-esteem. A subplot begins as another member, Chloe, secretly questions the group's teachings and reaches out to Maya, forming a fragile alliance. These initial obstacles force each character to confront the dark reality of their chosen communities. Their individual struggles are compounded by the growing control the cults exert over their lives. The subplots introduce external forces that challenge the cult's narratives and offer glimpses of hope for escape. The dynamics between the characters begin to shift as they become more deeply entrenched in their respective cults. Cindy becomes increasingly isolated and withdrawn, pushing away those who care about her. Ben becomes increasingly detached from reality, losing himself in the digital world. Maya becomes increasingly insecure and dependent on the group's approval. The stage is set for a collision course as these three seemingly separate narratives begin to intertwine, revealing the sinister web connecting the online cults. The initial goals of belonging and purpose are now threatened by the growing manipulation and control, leading them down a path of increasing danger and desperation. The inciting incident that throws our characters into a whirlwind of action is the leak of a disturbing video. This video, anonymously posted on a dark web forum, shows a ritualistic ceremony involving members of the Luminary Collective, revealing their true, sinister nature. Cindy recognizes the symbols and chants, realizing the group's true agenda is far from enlightenment. This shatters her carefully constructed reality and forces her to confront the horrifying truth. Simultaneously, Ben stumbles upon a hidden file within the Ascendant's virtual reality, revealing that the digital afterlife is a lie, a means to exploit and control their members. He witnesses a graphic demonstration of how the group is manipulating their followers' data and memories, shattering his hopes of reuniting with his wife. This revelation ignites a sense of betrayal and outrage, pushing him to seek justice. Around the same time, Maya receives a message from Chloe, revealing the Seraphim Circle's connection to a network of online predators, using the group's platform to groom and exploit vulnerable members. She learns that the self-love rhetoric is a carefully crafted manipulation tactic designed to lure in victims. This discovery fuels her anger and a determination to expose the group's true nature. The video, the hidden file, and the message act as a catalyst, shattering the illusions that the cults have carefully crafted. Cindy, Ben, and Maya are no longer passive victims. They are now active participants in their own stories. They realize the danger they are in and the urgent need to escape and expose the cults. These events create a sense of urgency and motivate the characters to take action. Cindy decides to find proof of the Luminary Collective's sinister activities. Ben begins to seek out other members who have been exploited, and Maya starts to plan her escape from the Seraphim Circle. Their individual goals now converge into a collective desire for freedom and justice. The inciting incident propels the story forward, setting in motion a chain of events that will challenge the characters' beliefs, their relationships, and their very lives. The comfortable routines of their digital lives are shattered, forcing them to confront the dark reality of their situations. The stage is set for a dramatic confrontation with the cult leaders and a desperate fight for survival. The leaked video sends shockwaves through the Luminary Collective, with Cindy facing increased scrutiny from her mentor. He tightens his control, isolating her further and threatening her family if she reveals the truth. This intensifies her desire to expose the group, but she must be cautious, fearing for her safety. A new character, a former member named Anya, contacts Cindy, offering her guidance and a safe haven. Ben, having seen the hidden files, tries to warn other Ascendance members, but is met with skepticism and hostility. He is branded a traitor and becomes a target of the group's surveillance. His sister Sarah introduces him to a cybersecurity expert, David, who helps him track the cult's online activities and find evidence of their illegal practices. Maya, now aware of the Seraphim Circle's predatory nature, attempts to leave but is met with threats and intimidation. The group's leader, a charismatic woman named Celeste, manipulates her emotions, using her insecurities to keep her in line. Chloe, now a trusted ally, helps Maya develop a plan to gather evidence and expose the group. These actions trigger a series of escalating conflicts. Cindy must navigate a treacherous path, gathering evidence while evading her mentor's watchful eye. Ben must protect himself and his family from the Ascendant's wrath, while working with David to expose their illegal activities. Maya must overcome her fear and insecurity to challenge Celeste's control and protect other vulnerable members. New challenges arise as the cults begin to coordinate their efforts, sharing information and resources to silence dissent. They launch online harassment campaigns against Cindy, Ben, and Maya, attempting to discredit them and isolate them further. The digital world becomes a dangerous battleground where anonymity is a weapon and truth is a casualty. The subplots deepen as Anya reveals her own traumatic experiences within the Luminary Collective, providing Cindy with a glimpse into her potential future. David uncovers a vast network of online cults, revealing the interconnected nature of their operations. Chloe's backstory reveals her own struggles with self-esteem and her desire to protect others from the same harm she experienced. The characters' motivations become clearer as they face these new challenges. Cindy's desire for freedom and justice is fueled by her own experiences and the stories of other victims. Ben's grief is now channeled into a determination to protect others from the same exploitation he endured. Maya's desire for self-acceptance is now intertwined with her desire to protect other vulnerable women from the Seraphim Circle's manipulation. The rising action intensifies as the characters' individual struggles become intertwined, setting the stage for a confrontation with the cult leaders and a desperate fight for survival. The consequences of their initial actions are now fully realized, pushing them to their limits and forcing them to make difficult choices. The conflicts escalate as the cults tighten their grip, using increasingly aggressive tactics. Cindy's mentor discovers her secret communications with Anya and subjects her to psychological torture, attempting to break her spirit. Ben's attempts to expose the Ascendants are met with physical threats, forcing him and his family into hiding. Maya's efforts to gather evidence are thwarted by Celeste, who publicly humiliates her, making her a target for the group's wrath. The subplots deepen as Anya reveals a hidden network of former Luminary Collective members who are actively working to expose the group. David uncovers a complex web of financial transactions, revealing the cult's vast wealth and influence. Chloe's past trauma resurfaces, forcing her to confront her own demons while helping Maya plan her escape. The stakes are raised as the cults begin to target the characters' loved ones. Cindy's family is threatened, forcing her to make a difficult choice between her safety and theirs. Ben's sister, Sarah, is targeted by the Ascendants, putting her life in danger. Maya's friends are ostracized by the Seraphim Circle, forcing her to confront the consequences of her actions. The tension among the characters increases as they struggle to cope with the escalating danger. Cindy feels the weight of responsibility for her family's safety, questioning her ability to protect them. Ben becomes increasingly paranoid and distrustful, struggling to reconcile his desire for justice with his need for safety. Maya feels isolated and alone, doubting her own strength and resilience. The characters' dilemmas become more complex as they are forced to make difficult choices with no easy answers. Cindy must decide whether to risk her family's safety to expose the Luminary Collective. Ben must choose between seeking revenge and protecting his loved ones. Maya must decide whether to fight back or succumb to the Seraphim Circle's control. The intertwined subplots begin to converge, revealing the interconnected nature of the cults and their sinister agenda. The former Luminary Collective members provide Cindy with crucial information about the cult's operations. David's investigation reveals the cult's financial ties to powerful individuals, increasing the risk for anyone who dares to challenge them. Chloe's personal journey becomes a source of strength and resilience for Maya, helping her find the courage to fight back. The rising action intensifies as the characters are pushed to their limits, forcing them to confront their deepest fears and insecurities. The consequences of their actions are now fully realized, and the path ahead is fraught with danger and uncertainty. The stage is set for a climactic confrontation that will determine their fate. The rising action reaches a fever pitch as the characters face major turning points. Cindy, during a daring escape attempt, is captured by her mentor, who reveals his twisted plan to use her art to indoctrinate new members. This betrayal fuels her determination to expose him, no matter the cost. Ben, after a near-fatal encounter with the Ascendants, decides to go public with his evidence, risking everything to bring them down. Maya, inspired by Chloe's resilience, organizes a rebellion within the Seraphim Circle, leading other members to question Celeste's authority. These pivotal moments mark significant character transformations. Cindy, once plagued by self-doubt, embraces her strength and courage, using her artistic talents to fight back against her oppressor. Ben, once consumed by grief, finds a new purpose in protecting others from the same exploitation he suffered. Maya, once insecure and dependent, becomes a leader, empowering other women to find their voices. The subplots converge as the former Luminary Collective members, led by Anya, join forces with Ben and David, combining their resources to expose the interconnected network of online cults. Chloe's past trauma becomes a source of strength for Maya, inspiring her to take a stand against Celeste. The characters' individual struggles become a collective fight for freedom and justice. The stakes are raised as the cults, feeling their power slipping away, resort to increasingly desperate measures. The Luminary Collective launches a smear campaign against Cindy, attempting to discredit her and silence her voice. The Ascendants unleash a cyber attack against Ben and David, threatening to expose their identities and destroy their evidence. The Seraphim Circle intensifies its control over its members, using psychological manipulation and physical threats to maintain its grip. The tension among the characters reaches its peak as they face seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Cindy must overcome her fear to confront her mentor and expose his lies. Ben must protect himself and his family from the Ascendant's wrath, while ensuring his evidence reaches the public. Maya must lead a rebellion against Celeste, risking her own safety and the safety of others. The rising action culminates in a series of events that set the stage for the climax. Cindy, Ben, and Maya, having faced their greatest fears and overcome their most significant challenges, are now prepared to confront their oppressors. The battle lines are drawn, and the final showdown is imminent. The stage is set for a dramatic and emotional climax that will determine the fate of our characters and the future of the digital world. As the climax approaches, the characters begin their final preparations. Cindy, with Anya's help, secretly broadcasts a live stream exposing her mentor's manipulation and the Luminary Collective's sinister agenda, using her art as a powerful tool of resistance. Ben, working with David, uploads his evidence to a secure server, ensuring that it will reach the public even if he is silenced. Maya, leading a group of disillusioned Seraphim Circle members, plans a public protest to expose Celeste's predatory behavior. Minor confrontations occur as the cults attempt to thwart the characters' plans. Cindy's mentor tries to shut down the live stream, but is met with unexpected resistance from other members who have been secretly questioning his authority. Ben faces a cyber attack from the Ascendants, but David is able to deflect it, buying him time to upload his evidence. Maya's protest is met with hostility from Celeste and her loyal followers, but they are outnumbered and outmaneuvered. These minor confrontations serve as foreshadowing for the major showdowns to come. Cindy's success in broadcasting her message hints at her ability to use her art to influence others. Ben's success in uploading his evidence foreshadows the downfall of the Ascendants. Maya's success in leading a protest foreshadows her ability to empower others to fight back. Character alliances are strengthened as the characters prepare for the climax. Cindy, Anya, and other former Luminary Collective members form a strong bond, united by their shared experiences and their desire for justice. Ben and David become a formidable team, combining their expertise to expose the cult's illegal activities. Maya and Chloe, along with other disillusioned Seraphim Circle members, form a powerful force for change. Minor plot resolutions occur as some of the subplots reach their conclusion. Liam, Cindy's childhood friend, finally understands the danger she is in and joins her fight against the Luminary Collective. Sarah, Ben's sister, recovers from her injuries and becomes a powerful advocate for victims of online cults. Chloe's past trauma is resolved as she confronts her abuser and finds the strength to move forward. The build-up intensifies as the characters move into position for the final showdown. The stage is set for a climactic confrontation that will determine the fate of our characters and the future of the digital world. The tension is palpable, and the stakes are higher than ever. The characters are ready to face their oppressors, and the audience is ready to witness the culmination of their struggle. As the climax looms, the characters face their final challenges. Cindy's mentor, desperate to maintain control, kidnaps her family, forcing her to choose between exposing him and saving their lives. Ben, facing imminent arrest by authorities who have been compromised by the Ascendants, must make a daring escape to ensure his evidence reaches the public. Maya's protest is met with violent opposition from Celeste's loyal followers, putting her and her fellow protesters in grave danger. The emotional stakes are raised as the characters confront their deepest fears. Cindy is torn between her desire for justice and her love for her family, questioning her ability to protect them. Ben faces the possibility of imprisonment and the loss of his freedom, struggling to reconcile his desire for justice with his need for safety. Maya must overcome her fear of failure and her insecurities to lead her fellow protesters against Celeste's tyranny. The narrative threads begin to converge as the characters' individual struggles become intertwined. Cindy's decision to risk her life to save her family is directly linked to Ben's need to expose the Ascendants, as they are both facing threats from the same network of online cults. Maya's protest against the Seraphim Circle is directly linked to the need to protect other vulnerable members, including those who were manipulated by the Luminary Collective. The final obstacles test the characters' resolve and their commitment to their goals. Cindy must outsmart her mentor and escape his clutches to expose his crimes. Ben must evade capture and ensure that his evidence reaches the authorities, despite the threats against him. Maya must overcome her fear and lead her fellow protesters against Celeste's violent opposition. The tension reaches a fever pitch as the characters prepare for the final showdown. Cindy, Ben, and Maya, having faced their greatest fears and overcome their most significant challenges, are now ready to confront their oppressors. The stage is set for a climactic confrontation that will determine the fate of our characters and the future of the digital world. The build-up concludes with a sense of anticipation and dread. The characters are ready to fight for their freedom and justice, but the outcome is far from certain. The final battle is about to begin, and the audience is left wondering who will emerge victorious. The convergence of the narrative threads ensures that the climax will be a powerful and emotional experience. The climax erupts as Cindy, facing her mentor, uses her art to expose his crimes to the world, triggering a chain reaction that leads to his arrest. Ben, evading capture, releases his evidence online, revealing the Ascendant's data harvesting scheme and triggering a massive public outcry. Maya, leading her fellow protesters, confronts Celeste, exposing her predatory behavior and dismantling the Seraphim Circle's facade of self-love. These decisive confrontations mark the downfall of the cult leaders and the beginning of the end for their reign of terror. The main conflicts are resolved as the cults are dismantled, their leaders brought to justice, and their online platforms shut down. The Luminary Collective is exposed as a manipulative organization that preys on vulnerable individuals. The Ascendant's digital afterlife is revealed to be a lie, a means to exploit and control their members. The Seraphim Circle's message of self-love is exposed as a tool for grooming and exploiting vulnerable women. The subplots reach their culmination as the characters find closure and healing. Anya, having faced her own trauma, becomes a powerful advocate for victims of online cults. David, having helped expose the Ascendants, dedicates his expertise to protecting others from cyber threats. Chloe, having overcome her insecurities, becomes a beacon of hope for other women who have been victimized. The characters' resolutions are intertwined as they work together to rebuild their lives and communities. Cindy uses her art to create powerful messages of hope and resilience. Ben dedicates his time to helping others who have been affected by online cults. Maya empowers other women to find their voices and fight for their rights. Thematic closure is achieved as the story emphasizes the importance of critical thinking, empathy, and human connection in a world increasingly dominated by technology. The narrative serves as a warning about the dangers of online manipulation and the need to protect vulnerable individuals from exploitation. The resolution underscores the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and find hope in the face of darkness. Now, it is your turn to act. Be vigilant, question what you see online, and reach out to those who may be vulnerable. The fight against online manipulation is a collective responsibility. Do not let this story be repeated. The conclusion finds Cindy, Ben, and Maya years after the events, their lives irrevocably changed, but filled with purpose. Cindy, now a renowned artist, uses her work to advocate for mental health awareness and the dangers of online manipulation, her art a testament to her resilience. Ben, having found peace after years of therapy, dedicates his life to helping others recover from digital addiction and isolation, his experience a guiding light for those lost in the virtual world. Maya, a powerful voice for women's rights, leads a movement against online predators, her courage a source of inspiration for those who have been silenced. The epilogue reveals that the dismantling of the cults was not the end of the story. The internet, still a powerful tool, continues to be a battleground for truth and manipulation. New cults emerge, preying on the vulnerable, but the lessons learned from the past serve as a reminder of the importance of vigilance and critical thinking. The characters, forever marked by their experiences, become beacons of hope for others who have been affected by online manipulation. The characters' development is complete as they have overcome their deepest fears and insecurities, finding strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Cindy, once plagued by self-doubt, has embraced her artistic talent and her ability to influence others. Ben, once consumed by grief, has found a new purpose in protecting others from exploitation. Maya, once insecure and dependent, has become a leader, empowering others to find their voices. The narrative closes with a sense of hope and a call to action. The characters' fates are intertwined, their lives a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity. The story serves as a reminder that the fight against online manipulation is an ongoing process, and that it is up to each of us to be vigilant and protect those who are vulnerable. The final scene shows Cindy, Ben, and Maya standing together, looking towards the future with hope and determination. Their journey has been long and arduous, but they have emerged stronger and more resilient than ever before. Their story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can prevail, and that together we can overcome the forces of darkness. Now more than ever, we must remain vigilant, share this story, educate others, and become a force for good in the digital world. The responsibility to protect ourselves and others from the dangers of online manipulation rests on each of us. Let their stories be a warning and a guide,